I would like to take a look at this a little bit different, a different approach. Not all of us are farmers here today. Some of us are in policy positions and we are able to influence policy. And I think we should really look at how we can capitalize on research and influence policy. Now, climate action is only as effective as political will in countries to assist with funding to assist the sector to adapt to climate change. Now, we should not operate in silos. And I think this was the first, when we started this morning at 8 o'clock, this was the first thing that I wrote down. And now we're talking about not moving into silos. So when we look at research, we should, for example, synergize concepts such as climate adaptation and disaster risk reduction through policy by building resilience and within thriving communities. And I think we should, as a collective, yes, SACAU, think of how we will capitalize our farmers to be more climate resilient through funding while helping them to be more profitable.
One thing that we lack, especially as farmers unions, is the communication that is between us. A lot of that has been said in the first panel and even now. Most of these things have already been done in one country or the other. And you get a repetition after 10 years. Like, I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel. If we had a mechanism where the research was disseminated very well within our bodies, and when there's something new going on, like research, if everybody knows that, let's say in South Africa, certain research is going on, or in Malawi or in Tanzania, those interested will start following up. And because of technology now that we have, you can get all the news and you can get all the data, and you can even work whilst you're back home through data. So if we can have a better setup where research can be disseminated.
This coming out for me in this dialogue is a need for research to be relevant to the communities and to the farmers, and a need for research to engage with particular communities. But I will speak particularly to the issue of research and indigenous communities. Dr. Akim Ope earlier made some important recommendations that there is a need for more research on indigenous knowledge, and I agree with him. However, I believe that even what is more important is the development and the utilization of indigenous methodologies in research. Why is that important? This is because too often researchers, even those with good intentions, have come into the indigenous communities doing or carrying out research on and about indigenous communities without involving the research, involving the indigenous communities throughout the research methodologies, design, and framework.
I think we must face that problems are developing with a dynamic. And so I'm a bit commenting on Daniel's proposal. I think it's not enough to prepare one list and then find finance and allocate the tasks. Again, with the German example, we have permanent working groups. So if you break down this dialogue, which Ansgar described in the very beginning, we have permanent working groups which are uniting people from research, public administrations, farmers, and also there was one extension officer here, extension services. And these are long-term institutions, these working groups, because most important for their success is something simple like trust. And I heard from some contributions that this is not always the case here between the farming community and research. And in these working groups, they are consisting for several years. So some people are already members for 10 or more years. They are competitors talking about their problems. So they need to trust that their competitor is not misusing these information.